life's just not worth living anymore?
That kind red.
So, to recap, we're heading over to Security HQ, Kale's workplace, to learn more about his disappearance. I'll catch a slider, but I'll run it manually to show off how that works. Not well. The physics on the sliders are hard to describe. It's like you're a magnet being pushed by other magnets from nearly every direction whenever you get near the sidewalk or pedestrians. Meanwhile, the other cars are nudging you like a bunch of impatient farm animals and have a tendency to phase through you if you don't get out of the way. There's Security HQ. I'll stop by the nearby drugstore first since I have something to do here. If I can find the fucking door, what the hell? Drugstores sell two things and two things only. Small medikits and big medikits. You can also turn in the sleeping pill prescription here. All the items in this game have the quality of those in low polygonal early 3D first-person shooters, where it's like the designers just have no inspiration whatsoever. This green cylinder is medicine. You can tell it's different from an ammo box because those are square and purple. Well, let's go by the street. All the pedestrians in Omikron are inconsequential. To relieve strain on your system, there's a graphical setting that determines how busy the streets are. Speaking of graphics, I looked for some ways to make the game look better. There's the DG Voodoo 2 wrapper you can install, but I couldn't see a significant difference in quality, and it seems to break the black and white effect the game sometimes throws over a scene. It does give you access to higher resolutions from 1080p up to 4K. The game is built for 4:3 resolution though, so anything widescreen looks stretched. There's an additional widescreen patch to fix that, but it does it by zooming in and cutting off the top and bottom parts of the screen. Most of the footage for this LP is just the basic game with settings maxed out. Whenever someone's standing still or sitting, you can talk to them, but they only have a few lines that mainly clue you into the fact that the city of Omikron is oppressively organized and ruled by an AI. Well, none of these conversations are worth the time. Let's head inside. The first part of Omikron is honestly pretty decent. You've got clear goals, it's interesting to be learning about Kale's life, work, and investigating the disappearances of Kale and his partner. There's even decent gameplay. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. I don't know what this dramatic confrontation with the idle mecha guard is about, but here's Security HQ. The central elevator takes you from level to level. Okay, calm the fuck down. This place is fairly big, lots of options on the elevator. They're pretty hard to read at this resolution, but we'll start out on the top level of offices. This is Tarek. He's an okay guy, but I'm always distracted by his green face. Like, look at him. He's like a seasick cartoon character.
Where were you? Everyone thought you were dead.
It's a little difficult to explain. I'm looking for Dead. Do you know where he is?
You mean you haven't heard? Oh, man. Den's body was found 2 days ago in an alleyway in a Nekba.
By the way, again, David Gassman voicing the character.
How did Den die?
Well, I didn't see the body myself, but I heard it was pretty bad. Ripped apart, torn to pieces as if by some kind of wild animal.
What? Have we just disappeared?
It happened a week ago. You went out on a mission and never came back. It was impossible to find any trace of either one of you, as if you just vanished. Phew.
Do you know what Den and I were investigating when we disappeared?
No, I've got no idea. But you can find out easily enough. Just take a look in the folders in the computer terminal in your office.
Do you know how I could open Den's office?
Well, you just gotta be smarter than the door. No, Seriously, the only way to open it is with Den's police card.
By the way, what's your name again?
You mean you don't remember my name? Man, what possibly could have happened to you to make you forget my name? I'm Tarek.
I wish I knew. Thanks for your help. I'm gonna try to figure out what happened to Den.
Good luck, Kale. Come and see me if you need any help.
Goodbye.
So Kale's partner Den is dead, and I'm naturally under suspicion. Time to start investigating. But maybe not start inside Tarek's office. Most of the offices are, unsurprisingly, locked.
Hi, I've got a little gift for you.
Jumping the gun a bit, the game here assumes I know exactly what Boog wants, and I'm ready to give it to him.
Me?
Yes, I have it in my sneak. Give me 1 second.
Jesus, his face also has a color like it belongs on a different body. We'll get to this later. Just remember that going by the posters in his office, Boog apparently likes strippers. Looks like this is the break room. This memo on the archives notes that dossiers for closed cases get moved into the archives department, and only the captain and commandant can access confidential dossiers. Alright. Might grab a snack while we're down here. I'll grab a cup of coil to keep me awake. Let's check out the next level of offices. Can't get into Den's office. We already prematurely talked to Tarek about that.
Well, well, a ghost. Everybody thought you were dead, Kale. Me more than anyone. To tell you the truth, I'm a little disappointed.
Sorry to let you down. Would you rather I hadn't come back?
You and Den are just second-rate cops on the take and unworthy to wear the uniform. If I were in Commandant Gandar's place, I'd have thrown you off the force years ago.
You shouldn't be aggressive like that. It's bad for the blood pressure.
Come on now, get out of my office. You bore me. You again? What do you want?
What do you know about Den's death?
I find his death very suspicious. Especially now, with you back. I'm going to suggest to Commandant Gandar that he interrogate you. It's obvious you have some explaining to do.
You're just a low-life rat.
Clearly, this fellow is a bit of a prick. Let's not waste more time with him. I guess one of my coworkers left his office unlocked. I'll make use of the opportunity to loot his stuff. This flyer tells you about the Sha'arbat tournament, which is just about the only way of making money other than just finding it or selling junk. We'll definitely be following up on that. Nothing in this closet other than some nasty looking salad. As I recall, eating it damages your health. But he does have a magic ring stashed in his desk drawer, so score. Here's Kale's office. It's locked, but you can use his badge to open the door. A little more money in the desk. There's a little trunk in the closet. Here's where the little key from the Koopy's terrarium comes into play. The ever-present noise indicates that reading this scroll was important, though it doesn't get saved into the list of objectives. In this case, it's kind of a side quest that we'll be doing later when we get to the district called Kalasar. Time to clean up the inventory a bit. We don't need the scroll anymore right now. We aren't gonna eat the salad, and stuff we've read has served its purpose. Here's the shared dossiers for Kale and Den. Most of these just talk about stuff that again indicates the city is Judge Dredd levels of oppressive, but the last one talks about a series of unsolved murders where the bodies were found horribly mutilated. One of the cases is still open, a bar owner smuggling illegal sneaks. "15 victims in less than 2 weeks? If a suspected killer was killing one person a day, and sometimes more than that, you'd think the police would be putting more than 2 agents on it. Anyway, the dossier has been declared confidential, and as we read in the memo, only Captain Leah or Commandant Gandar can access those." Data memorized. Under the 4 yellow bars in your sneak, you can find your objectives. One is about having to find a way to access the classified dossier about the murders. The other is another sort of side quest about arresting the owner of a bar. Side quests, by the way, are a rare thing in this game, which is both weird and a shame for an open-world adventure game. You only get a few of them early on, and then it's just all business.
Agent Investigator Kale 669, report to Captain Leah's office immediately. The captain is expecting you.
Uh-oh, the boss wants to see us. Never a good sign. Well, no sense delaying it.
Agent Kale 669. I expect an explanation for your disappearance.
Captain Leia, who is buff as all hell, appears to also be voiced by Gay Marshall.
I'm not Kale. I'm occupying his body. I come from another dimension.
Do you take me for a fool, Agent Kale?
No, Captain, I only meant... As it happens, I have no memories for the past few days.
Surely you must have some idea of what happened.
Not yet, but I have reason to believe that our disappearance is linked with the affair Den and I were investigating. I'd like to get access to this case.
You've been taken off the case. Commandant Gandar himself gave the order.
I must insist, Captain. Den's death is definitely linked to the investigation.
That's enough. I won't hide from you that you are the subject of considerable suspicion in this affair. There's no question of you continuing the investigation until the matter has been explained.
Are you accusing me of murdering my partner?
Your inability to provide a coherent explanation for your disappearance works against you.
I see. What are your orders?
I've decided to give you another case. Go and interrogate this prisoner, and let me have your report as soon as you've finished. You'll find all the information you need in the folder, along with your mission orders to get into the cell. Dismissed.
Very well, Captain.
So, I'm suspected of murdering my partner, and instead of being suspended or put on paid leave or something, I get assigned a new case. Oppressive future or not, they must have one hell of a police union. Let's have a quick read of these files. I'm authorized to go interrogate this Jenna, who is suspected of belonging to a terrorist group called The Awakened. Her name and sneak number were found on a guy named Carl, who sabotaged the weather center. I've also got her apartment key, so I can go and search her place. I should do that first. It might give me something to use in the interrogation. I'll call a slider to take me to Jenna's apartment. There's an odd thing where if you call a slider from certain locations, like near Security HQ, you get shown a fairly long approach of the slider, whereas in other locations they're just instantly parked in front of you. No idea what's up with that. But I think it might be a trick to make the city look bigger than it is. All over the city there are these unmarked doors to apartment buildings which may open on your approach or not. There's usually not much point in going inside since you can't enter any apartment unless you have the key for it. This chocolate bar looks like it might be criminally delicious. I'd better confiscate it. Another Omikron newspaper. This one mentions another attack by the Awakened sect. Contraband. Not much here. Hidden in the toilet, we find a small key Jenna. Gross. It's locked, but luckily we have that small key Jenna to open the closet Jenna. We'll just steal her chump change, since we're garbage apparently. From light comes, light comes. Yeah, I guess it do. Fascinating. Believe it or not, this is a clever clue to finding a secret. Examine the lights in this corner of the room to find a secret switch. In the secret compartment, we find a Deca gun, which is a gun upgrade and kind of looks like a robotic glove. And a propaganda document. Scandalous. Let's have a read. People of Omikron, wake up! Reshev's government is corrupt. He has made deals with the trusts in order to make himself richer and richer. He deprives us of our liberty, supposedly in the interests of our happiness. But what good is happiness if we are not free to think and act? Humanity has been placed in the care of Ix, a computer. Power must return to the freely chosen humans. Beware of those who lull you to sleep in order to control you better. Men are not puppets to be manipulated. The Awakened. Well, I'd say that's pretty damning. Jenna has some explaining to do. Let's go back to Security HQ and interrogate her.